Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. We are having fun on Floral Friday, painting a very bright and loose floral here. I go over this step by step. It's a little wild ride. It's fun, intuitive painting that I love to do. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Yes, it looks like a crazy wild bouquet. Patreon members get a little extended version. You know, I talk about some things on that on Patreon that I don't talk about on YouTube. And it's where people go support my channel here on YouTube, which I really appreciate. And you can find the link, boop, in the description box below if you want to join my Patreon. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of exclusive tutorials that are not on YouTube. All kinds of other things with our Facebook group and, you know, giveaways and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so for this fun tutorial, I'm using 100% cotton cold pressed paper. It's Arche from, you know, it's really great classic paper. I tape it down to a piece of cardboard in case I want to play around, moving it around. And I use Scotch Magic tape. It works fine for me. If you want to use a different tape, go right ahead. And just a small little, grabbing a pencil. So this is just a free, intuitive kind of painting, and it's all about color, you know, and value, and just, again, the color. So I love to play with color, especially during the spring and summer with the flowers. And then you're going to play with composition. So I'm picturing in my brain, I want to do some purple flowers and maybe in a vase. And then you have to think about, do you want the vase in the middle, right, left, cut off, whatever. Maybe I'd have it kind of towards the right. I just have this, today I'm just feeling my body and my gravitation. Or you just figure out your intuitive sense. Where you want to put it, and I'll just maybe put like a curved line here. I'm gonna put the vase, and then kind of maybe swing down a little bit, and kind of go like that. Now the vase is non-sequential because, you know, it's just kind of anchoring where the flowers would go. I'm never gonna really draw my flowers out. I kind of just sketch like some lines of like stems, and you know where I want, and kind of like, do I want full flowers? Do I want non-full flowers? I want like these cute little flowers. I don't know, like little tiny little purple flowers. Maybe I'd put in a pansy or so. We'll see. I'm gonna put a pansy in there. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with this. And if I was gonna draw a pansy, again, it's just a simple little like drop here and then kind of wiggle here. I don't know though. I think I'm gonna keep it mostly purple, loose flowers. I think that's what my intention is. And then the vase could be color, or it could be see-through. Another thing is I might make the vase come down a little bit more. Kind of indentation here a little bit. I'm playing around with that. I don't know. I think I may have the vase actually have a pattern too. So I don't think I'm going to have it clear vase today. And then of course brushes and playing with color. I'll be using my flat wash brush from Princeton. This is a 3/4 inch Velvet Touch series brush. I'll probably play with my number 12 Neptune series round. I've been playing a lot lately with my 12 Aqua Elite. Sometimes I go in to use my number 8 long round, and sometimes I use a number 4 like a liner brush. This is from Umbria. This is an old one. I got a new one actually, so I have another one. And I actually, if you hear the noise in my chair, I stand up a lot. So let's mix up some colors to get things going. I'm just gonna mix it with this brush, and then we're gonna play with color. Here's ultramarine blue deep and bright rose, and you can make all kinds of beautiful purples with this. More of a pinky purple, bluish purple. Another great color is like this verditer blue, which I love from holbein. It's almost like gouache in nature of like the thickness of the color, like it's chalky. So even just like watering that color down, it's just beautiful color. Look at that. Beautiful periwinkle blue kind of color. And then of course we'll do greens in a bit. So first I like to play with just putting the flowers in, and then I go back in and I add some greens. So we'll take whatever brush. You can just kind of like plop in some water, splatter it a little bit, see where it goes, and then we can just try to drop some water color that we mixed in there. You see I'm just dropping color. There's no rhyme and reason to that. Let's see what happens. Right, I'm going to grab my floppy brush, which is the 12 round Neptune series. I've got this purple kind of mixed up. Mix it a little bit more. And if you want a deeper purple, use Prussian blue. So now I'm going to just kind of take all that water happening, use it to our advantage. You're just kind of throwing down water. I go a little thicker with the paint, adding more. I use 2 pink because it's easy to activate. Adding more ultramarine blue deep and some of that bright rose again, thicker. Look at all that gooey stuff. And then you're just going to tap around it. Go up to the top. Already, it's cool. You're just throwing in water. You're just kind of throwing in the water, right? And then just kind of tapping around next to it and pushing that. See, tippy tap, and go up here. So it could be like almost like a delphinium or any kind of cool purple flower. And it really didn't take 0 effort. Now I'm going to take that periwinkle-ish color from holbein. It's the verditer blue. I was thinking of that Swedish chef from the Muppets. And I'm going to push down. I want like little rounded kind of blooms, clustered. And then over here. Look at that. Cute. Just take no effort. And it's already sweet. I'm already digging it. Look at that. So get some blues and purples. If you just kind of grab some of that bright rose now, kind of mix that in with that. Look at that. And then tap around it. Clean off your brush. So a lot of cool colors we got going here. And as you see, 0 effort. This is a lot of water, so I can kind of lift some of this and tap it back on my paper towel, which I have close by always, or a sponge to kind of remove some of that loose water. Already really beautiful, kind of simple floral happening. I want to start adding some greens. So I'm going to remove some of this paint over here. So for greens, I use Prussian blue and I'll grab yellow. Depending on how much yellow you use, it's going to get brighter and lighter. It's a little thick because I have a lot of paint here. And then if I mix it down here, adding more Prussian blue. Just activate my brown over here. And I always add a little bit of burnt umber if I want to make a deep green, because it tones down that blue. But if you want a very blue green, keep it. But for me, you can add some red or some burnt umber. So I get some dark colors. Clean off my brush. Mix a little bit more yellow in here. We got a medium, a light, and a dark. Now I'm going to pick up my flat wash brush. Get this wet with some water. Grab some of this color. And I'm just going to go from the vase up. That's wet on dry. I didn't water it. I didn't put any watercolor, wet water there. See, now I'm going up. Tapping on the side. This is the chisel end. This is the flat end. Going up. Get a little thicker with the paint. It won't move as much. And going in between some of these blooms. Tapping on the side. Up. And then you can even use this for leaves. See? Like that. It's a little twist off. Going out. Starting from here. Twist out. Look at that. Come down. Very minimal effort here. See? You gotta just practice. Really go for it. Tapping and then twisting out. I show a lot of people this in my workshops and my retreats if they are not used to just kind of really just going for it. Just pulling that brush out. And I'll get some darker tone happening in between here. Remember, we're all kind of going down by the vase here. The vase is like the end of it all, right? When that dries, I might do another layer because the vase is going to be a color. And that's sweet. So we'll just stop now from there. And I want to get more, less purple, more blue. I'm lifting this and removing the color. Let's grab just ultramarine blue deep itself. Loosen this up. And now we're going to form the vase by adding the color behind it. Maybe get a little thicker with the blue. So it's a white vase. You could add color to that. Right now we're going to add color around it, so it's negative painting. Go thicker with the paint. Now you see the vase a little more clearly. See that? We got a white vase. Now I'm going to water this down, this color. So I'm keeping it darker on that side, kind of just watering in this blue on this side, and then leaving it light out that way. Look at that, negative painting, and play around with the purples and the blues. Obviously lighter on this side. I'm going to lift a little of this. And I'll add some color on the bottom. So it's like dark kind of over here. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Clean up my brush, clear water. You can kind of play with kind of mushing out here, but I want to keep those hard edges, kind of blending this a little bit. Right? You can kind of blend all of it if you wanted to. Go add some clear water and kind of blend a little bit up here too. See? Just clear water and tapping that. Now it's all kind of blended nicely. It's, again, preference, if you want to do that or not. Playing with this. I wanted this a little bit lighter. I don't want to mush it too much. Okay, so we have to let some of this dry, and we come back and we can add some patterns or something in here. Okay, now that it's dry, I'm going to take my number 12 Aqua Elite. I'm going to use my ultramarine blue deep color here. Just water this down. And I can just start to play with little patterns here. Maybe some stripes like that. And maybe some flowers. Again, it's up to you. You can have little ditzy flowers. Almost like the chinoise vases. Right? I'm just kind of wiggling my brush, making some simple petals and some lines for stems. And then maybe go back and do another stripe. Now it's kind of one note. I might add some deeper color by adding in a little Prussian blue to my ultramarine blue deep. Let's see, it gets a little bit deeper, right? A little deeper blue color. I'm just kind of bleeding it and tapping it around the other blue that I did. You could do little dashes and dots. Again, little interesting kind of wiggles and squiggles to make it look like a chinoiserie vase. Little dots. It doesn't have to be perfect. And really nothing really special, just kind of wiggling all these little guys. Isn't that cute? That took like 0 seconds. And it has that look, right? Chinoiserie. That's it. So then we go just back into our lovely little painting that we did before, and we can add some more stems and more kind of like less abstract, a little bit more serious kind of leaves and flowers. So I'm going to grab my 8 long round and add some nice stems coming up here. Get the color mixed up here. Little branches, and I'm going to have some little flowers kind of coming out of that. And we've got that dark green. Kind of put some of that in between. Mix up a little bit more dark green here. So you want the darks and the lights kind of next to each other so they pop, right? If you have all the same kind of value, it's just kind of a one note. It's not going to have some interesting composition to it. So I'm adding in some dark greens. Now I don't really have many leaves in here. I might add some leaves. Stems going out. I'll add a lighter green, kind of connecting in here. And I need something coming up in here because it got washed away. And I can add some like falling leaves again, maybe some darker ones. Just like that. And on this side too, even a little bit darker because this is the shadow side. Right? A little bit darker in here. Just pushing the color. Kind of wild. If you want to make an actual leaf, I'll grab this 12 or any kind of, you can just push down and pull back. Get some nice rounded leaves. So again, it's not such like round, sticky lines. You can add some interesting leaves, more rounded ones. So just these like lines that you see everywhere. And they could be bigger or smaller. It's up to you. I am going to go back and add some more color, purple color. So I can take whatever brush is the purple. I mix some blush, bright rose with some ultramarine blue deep. And go back and just kind of tapping around these little areas that fell down so they can be like blooms that are falling, cascading downward. Get thicker with the paint. Different kind of purple. Can tap in and I can push. Look how dark that purple is. Ooh, and that really kind of looks nice. Pushing that dark purple. See the different values. Now that's popping. You have some light hues and we want some dark hues. Saturation too. It's thicker, it's saturated, it's less water. So that's going to make it pop. So the different things you need to think about when it comes to color and paint is light and dark values, right? Saturation in the tone, which is a hot tones. We're doing cool tones today. This is what you want to play with, right? All cool tones. We can go back with our lovely verditer blue, a little thicker, and pop that color in again. As it just kind of washed away. And I'm just kind of tapping. That. Pretty simple. Now my vase looks a little like fake, right? It's got this wild abstract thing going here, and you get this fake kind of looking vase. It needs a little life to it. So I'm just going to add a little value of tone in there, of shadows or something. So ultramarine blue deep, maybe a little bit of burnt sienna. Get a little bit of bluish gray. Kind of play with putting some of that in on the side over here. See that? Just instantly changed that. Put a little bit of here and here. Doesn't it? And then in the background, it's a kind of a blue, fakey blue color. So I can make this even deeper or more gray to make it make more sense. You see? And that just popped. It looks a little more realistic. It was just a simple little wash of color. And now it does make more sense. It's not some fake looking kind of plant in a vase, you know. It has a little more like realism to it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense to you. Add a little bit more color there, and boom. So the light's coming from this way. And then we can just add just a few more touches up here, and I think we're done. Don't want to overdo this. So purple, maybe more on the blue tones. More just ultramarine blue deep up here. Some big old flat, roundish kind of bloom. Separated from all those skinny little ones. And same thing over here. And saturated the color. And just changed it a little bit. And then you could do some little dots. Some of the purple. Like you're getting the center of them. You could add a little bit of yellow here and there, but we're keeping it mostly in the purples. If you did go and add a little bit of yellow, because remember, we have mostly cool tones, a little pop of yellow is going to change that just a little bit in some of these areas. Just a little pop. But this is like minimal effort, really kind of fun. And last but not least, if you want to add like even skinnier, going to take my liner brush. These are like for very detaily kind of stuff, or grasses. I kind of go in here and maybe add some browns. Burnt sienna, a burnt umber, some green. More in the brown tones. Kind of go up in here. Do my little twiggy kind of things. Peeking through out. Boop, boop. Do, 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 do. Not necessary, just like another added on if you like. And there, see now the front part, not so fanish, but really kind of simple, right? Because a very dramatic look for a little effort. And yeah, it doesn't take much time. So I love to do this kind of stuff. And I'm showing you how I do it. Got a little bright rose pinky kind of color up here. Little doodads, unexpected pink tones, pinkish purple. Right up there. And that just changed that a little bit. And a little bit over in here. Just dropping in color. All right, let this dry and we'll reveal the tape. And I'll peel off my tape. It's always fun to peel off the tape. Peel it away from you. I have no nails right now. And it won't rip the paper. And look at that. Gorgeous! I hope you guys enjoyed it. Really quick and simple. Try those techniques. The values, the lights, the darks, saturated color, you know, the tone of it. Is it cool? Is it going to be hot? You can do this whole thing in hot tones, pinks and reds and yellows and oranges, and have a totally different effect. So let me know your thoughts. Leave them below. And if you're a Patreon member, you get the extended version. Thank you so much. And hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button to know when my tutorial is up. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Ciao.